I recently read a book that changed my life in only 24 hours. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why it did. And if you haven't heard of Ryan before, he is the author of multiple best-selling books, including Ego is the Enemy, which has sold over 3 million copies worldwide and has been translated into more than 30 languages. His books are well known for providing practical advice from philosophy and history to help people live better and more successful lives. I've always struggled with procrastination, but recently it's gotten way worse. A few weeks ago I was stuck in a rut, and no matter what I tried, I just couldn't seem to get out of it. I was struggling to make progress on any of my projects, and every day felt like a huge struggle. I highly recommend this book to anyone who is looking for some practical advice on how to live a better life. Ryan shares stories of people who have overcome incredible obstacles and achieved seemingly impossible things. He talks about how these people didn't let their circumstances define them, and how they took control of their lives and created their own success. These stories were so inspiring to me, and they gave me the motivation I needed to start taking action towards my own goals. If you're feeling stuck or demotivated, I urge you to pick up a copy of this book. It may just be the thing you need to get your life back on track. No matter how much effort I put in, it just didn't seem like anything was working out. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it really helps out. I post new videos every single week about topics such as productivity, philosophy, and personal development. And if that sounds interesting to you, then you can click here to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. But after reading this book, I realized that I had been focusing on the wrong things, and that was preventing me from making any real progress. Ryan argues that we should focus on the things that are within our control rather than worrying about the things that are not within our control. He calls this concept the circle of control, and it is one of the most important concepts in the book. After realizing this, I started to take small actions every day, no matter how insignificant they may seem. And I found that as I continued to take these small actions, they started to add up, and I began to make real progress on my projects. So instead of focusing on the things that were outside of my control, I started to focus on the things that were within my control, and I realized that this was the key to getting unstuck. If you're feeling stuck right now, I urge you to think about what is within your control and start taking small actions towards your goals. Even if it seems like you're not making any progress, trust me, you are. You just need to keep moving forward. And it's gotten so bad that whenever I start a task, when I first started reading this book, I was feeling I had a lot of big dreams and goals, but I didn't feel like I was doing anything to move towards them. I was stuck in a cycle of overthinking and procrastination, and I just couldn't seem to get out of it. But after reading this book, everything changed. Ryan shares stories of people who have overcome incredible obstacles and achieved seemingly impossible things. He talks about how these people didn't let their circumstances define them, and how they took control of their lives and created their own success. These stories were so inspiring to me, and they gave me the motivation I needed to start taking action towards my own goals. After reading this book, I felt like I had all these new ideas, and I was so excited to start implementing them. I was no longer content with just dreaming about what could be, and I wanted to start actually making things happen. It's been less than a year since I started seriously trying to improve my life, but I feel like I've already made so much progress, and I have this book to thank for giving me the inspiration I needed to take action. My mind automatically jumps to all the other things that I have to do, and it makes it extremely hard to focus on just one thing at a time. But after reading this book, I started to see this problem from a completely different angle. Instead of seeing procrastination as a weakness or some kind of flaw that I have, Ryan reframes it as a natural and necessary part of the creative process. He argues that procrastination is actually a sign that we care about what we are doing, and that it can actually help us produce better work. In the book, he talks about how the ancient Greek and Roman philosophers saw obstacles and difficulties not as things to avoid, but as opportunities to grow and improve. This completely changed the way I think about procrastination, because now instead of beating myself up for I try to see it as a helpful signal that will lead me to creating something better. For example, when I feel like procrastinating writing an essay, I remind myself that this feeling of wanting to do something else is actually there to protect me from writing a subpar essay, and that it is trying to guide me towards creating an amazing one. There was a book called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. So back to the book that changed my life in 24 hours. Here are 3 reasons why. No. 1. The book gave me a fresh perspective on one of my biggest problems. One of my biggest problems right now is procrastination. No. 2. The book helped me to get unstuck. And finally, no. 3. The book inspired me to take action. So those are 3 reasons why this book changed my life in 24 hours. By the way, if you want to know what book I'm reading next, then go ahead and follow.